I had so many questions. Why did my aunt do this to me? Why is this happening to me? I never knew that what she did was already human trafficking. When I was young, my parents left me. I grew up under the care of my grandparents. I was the kind of child who had so many questions. Why did my parents leave me? Am I that broken and worthless? That was the time when my aunt broke down the walls of doubt I had for myself. We would sing karaoke and dance together at my grandparents' house, and we grew closer. At that time, I was 11 years old. My aunt didn't have work and she had 3 children. Economically, they didn't really have enough. She asked me to go to her house after my classes, and that was how it started. She asked me to pose in front of a camera. At that moment, I had so many doubts and fears. I thought, is it okay to do this? Why do I feel so uncomfortable? But she told me to do it for the sake of my little cousins. She needed money to buy formula milk for them. I tried to ignore my feelings, but their one abuse became 2. Then my cousin was made to do it too. She was 2 years old. It felt strange, wrong. I remember how afraid I was to tell my grandparents. I didn't want them to fight because of this. I still remember one day, I was 12 then. I was sleeping in my own home. 1 social worker and 2 policemen came to our house. Everything went by so fast. They took me and brought me to the Department of Social Welfare and Development. That was when they explained what my aunt did to me. She was already caught by the police hours before I was rescued. And I just cried. I felt so angry towards her. Why did she allow this to happen to me? And I blame myself because I thought that was my fault. They interviewed me and told me that they would help me to get through the situation. 4 years ago, they transferred me to Rancho Ni Cristo, a shelter for survivors of online sexual exploitation in Cebu. And that was where I met Grace.
In the Philippines, online sexual exploitation is a very big problem, but not a lot of people are aware that this is happening in our country. Especially during the lockdown, there has been an increase of cyber tips regarding this issue. Most of the survivors are perpetrated by their parents or relatives. They are rescued out from the place where they should feel safe, and that is already very traumatic for them. There is the trauma from the abuse, and then there's the trauma from the separation from their family during the rescue operations. And when they go to shelters, just like ours, some survivors can forgive and let go of it. But for some survivors, it's a lifetime process. Triggers are as simple as cameras, people entering the rooms without permission, or even the way people look at them. And that's why we empower them and teach them coping skills so that we can help them move forward.
At first, it was not easy. There were times when I thought I was already okay, where there were still triggers. There was a group session sharing about what happened to me, and I just cried. But slowly talking about my past, writing poems, listening to music, I learned how to handle and cope with it. I learned to be empowered and to be strong. I am no longer willing to be the victim of the situation, but a survivor. If you are someone who has not been rescued, I want to encourage you to hold on and not to give up, because there are people helping you to find healing. Even though it's hard, the walk that you have been through is a way that you will become a strong and courageous woman.